My business has revenued over $100,000 so far. Not just me, but my team as well. And there's two main ways that people can help you make money through business. Either you learn from them or they work with you. In my first job, sales, I had my mentor, which was the owner of the office, all the salesmen around me, as well as all of the company's learning resources. With learning, there's a few ways that you can go about it regardless of which situation you're in. Either you pay someone to learn from them, you work with someone ahead of you and learn from them, or you watch videos along the lines of this. The second way is by employing them. And with employing, it's a little bit more trickier. No one works for free or works for less than what they think their time is worth. So with everyone who worked with me, the reason that they stayed for as long as they did and the reason that they helped me as much as they did is because of all of the benefits they got. Outside of getting an income and getting commissions, they got to learn how to sell. They had very minimal expenses. They got free commutes, as well as they had a community to learn with and grow with. And a few more smaller things, but that's the main reason why people will work with you, or at least why people worked with me. They got what they thought that they were worth, as well as what their time was worth. And in return, I got a percentage of all the money that they brought into the business. So in both cases, you give something for what the other person is worth, be it money, education, attention, etc. There's so many different things that you can offer or that you can receive in return for what you have to offer. But no one gets from 0 to 100 without working with others or without involving others in one way or another. So no matter where you are, start off by firstly prioritizing learning, and throughout the entire thing, always prioritize learning. And as you scale and as you get to a point where you need to delegate some work and to the point where you can actually pay someone for some work, that's when you should start hiring. And with hiring, especially when you're beginning, I would say just stick to friends and family. As long as there's no ill intention, greed, or jealousy, everything will work out fine. Don't listen to these people who are like, oh, don't work with friends or family at all. That's blah, blah, blah. Don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. When you're starting out, stick to friends and family of your friends and family, because this way you already know what the person's going to be like. If I never learned sales from my first job and then learned how to run a business from my mentor through my first sales job, I would have never started my business. Or maybe I would have, but it would have taken a lot longer to scale and a lot longer to get where I am now. And if I never had anyone working with me, I probably would have never scaled past 40 or 50K total lifetime sales. And a bit of a bonus on this, only be around those who are genuinely growing as a person or in their career or in their business, and or be around people who are already ahead of you. Because this is the easiest way that you could just get rid of your limiting beliefs, as well as that this will just instantly push you to just work harder naturally just by being around these type of people. And similar to always pushing, one thing that genuinely helped me out the most in not even just my business but in my personal success as well is you need to always have hope for yourself. Essentially, whenever something negative happened, like a hard task or a problem with my website, someone canceling, someone quitting, a big invoice coming in, someone refunding, or whenever I even made a costly mistake, the one thing that really pushed me is just thinking about the future and just being like, you know what, it's okay. I'm gonna get over this. And as simple as it sounds, I genuinely believe that this is why most people either fail in business or they just never start. They're too stuck in the moment. Just because life sucks right now or just because your business is hard to scale right now doesn't mean it's gonna be like that forever. The exact opposite also happens after you stick it out for a little while. Eventually, everything just starts going right. And then you think that it will never go bad and you think that everything's just gonna be like this forever. And that's not true. That's just how life is. When it rains harder, but eventually it always stops. When it's sunny outside, it gets sunnier, and then it eventually stops. When life is going bad, it's gonna stop. When life is going good, it's gonna stop. So the only hedge you have against this is to just be prepared for the future. Really, the only way to go about this is to just have your focus on your end goal, and then also focus on the actions that you can do to get closer to that end goal. Again, regardless of if everything's going good or if everything's going bad. There's always a common action between the two that you're going to need to take to be able to get towards that end goal, be it to scale to a certain number or to sell the business. And if you only focus on how hard life is or how hard it is to scale or do whatever with your business, when that's your only focus, everything's just gonna go. But if you understand the position you're at right now and then start thinking of how can I get out of this, you will be literally 50 to 60% of all current business owners. And that's a very important principle for business. Please, grab a notepad or open your notes tab and just write this down, because it's that important. Always have the end goal in mind and only focus on the actions to take to get towards that end point. And that's what business comes down to. It's mainly principles over what actions to specifically take or what business model to start, etc. It all comes down to principles and how you think. Also, a quick tip, when you are learning from someone else, try and learn why they do things, not just what they do, but really focus on why they do certain things, as in their mindset behind it. That will literally propel you way further than literally any actionable step or any business model, etc. But if you don't have a business yet or a business model in mind, if you need a longer guide, click on this video. I'll put a card here. Honestly, just watch that before finishing this video, I'd say. And really quick, if you're enjoying the video and you got some value, if you could please subscribe, that would honestly really help out the channel. Thank you. But the quick guide and the simple guide is literally just start cheap based on how much money you have and just do something that's proven, as it's a lot easier to sell something that people already want compared to something that no one even knows that they need yet. Like I started my business with $100. You don't need thousands or millions. As well as I did a service that people don't like doing themselves, or that's hard for some people to do on their own. And the final thing that really did help me with scaling to the point where I am now is honestly never forgetting where you came from, or more specifically, never forgetting your relationship with money. Before I went into business for myself, I had 2 to 3 grand saved. And before I started sales, I had less than $20 to my name. Whenever I would go out with my friends, I couldn't buy food, I couldn't do anything, because I was that broke. And I felt too bad and embarrassed to ask my mom for any money because at the time, she didn't really have much either. And then fast forward to after I finished sales and I went into business, my first day I profited around $400 to $500. Can you guess what I did with that $400 to $500? I blew it all. Because I had completely forgotten where I had come from. And this especially happens whenever you get large sums of money really quick. You forget the value of money. And it was like this for my entire first year of business. Every week, I literally profited with less than $400, believe it or not. And then once that first year or first season finished, I had very little to show for all my successes. Even though I worked extremely hard, I had a big team, I even bought a few shiny things to kind of show off, but I had no money to really back anything up. I then went back to kind of where I started off at. I couldn't go out and enjoy food without worrying about money. I couldn't fill up my car up with gas without worrying about money. I couldn't donate, etc. And in my second year, I kind of figured it out a little bit more. You shouldn't be really stingy with your money, but you shouldn't just be focused on spending it on whatever. The only time you should really spend money is on your team, on your business, or to further yourself through education. And conveniences every now and then. Whenever we're working outside, I would just go out and eat out because that would save time. And with YouTube, I had an editor at the time because that saved my time. That was convenient. So only spend money on convenience, education, and on your business and on the people who work with you. And a bonus one that I did this year too that at first I didn't think would help but genuinely did was just giving money to my family. Because once the people around you have more money, that instantly just lowers the amount of stress in your household, and that way you'll just be able to work with a lot less stress too, because now you don't have all these problems going on. One thing that I was doing with the money that I was taking home for myself, half of that, it just went straight to crypto, gold, investments, etc. and cash. And when you do that, let's say a big invoice comes in or a big mistake happens, etc., you won't enter a mind frame of, oh, how do I survive or how do I get out of this? You'll just be like, okay, whatever, expense, whatever. Then you'll just be focused on, okay, small problem, let's just keep going, because now you don't need to worry about the next dollar that comes in. I promise you'll perform much better when you don't have money troubles. And to quickly recap everything that helped me with scaling to over 100 grand in business is firstly, prioritize people, learning and working with them. Focus on the long term, and lastly, don't blow your money, be smart with your money. Those are the essentials that I credit towards my business success and things that I'm always gonna focus on even going forward. One thing I would suggest you to do is join our free community in the description, as well as join the newsletter, as written formats always give a little bit more gems. And with everything being said, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.